Blog Talk Radio.
All right, what's good, people out there? You know, it's Thursday, 10 p.m. Y'all know what time it is, that grown folk talk. Welcome to GFT Radio Show. I got my homeboy, J. Rowe, on the line. Hey,
what's up, everybody? What's good, everybody? It's J. Rowe.
All right. Tonight we're going to get into some things. You feel me? What's your input? Call in. Phone lines open up at 10:15. The phone number is 657-383-1155. That's 657-383-1155. If you're listening, you're already on the Blog Talk Radio website. You feel me? You can also go to our own website at gftradioshow.com. Hit us up on Facebook and all that. So let's get into it. Tonight, we're talking about interracial relationships. You know, it's a lot. What came up to me is, you know, reason why I started this subject a couple weeks ago is because I was in a relationship before, in a interracial relationship before, and me and her got in contact again with each other. So it made me want to think, like, how would people today view that relationship? So I posted a question online about what people, like, what was their feelings towards interracial relationships, especially with me when I'm always preaching pro-black stuff, but I dated a white woman. So I wanted to see what people think. I was a hypocrite, this, that, and the third. You know, I wanted to hear people's thoughts. And for the most part, the reception I got back from off my Facebook post was, you know, a lot of people was cool with it. You know, I ain't really getting no backlash and nothing like that. And maybe a couple people say, you know, it do look kind of weird. I mean, it would look kind of weird, this, that, and the third. You feel me? What's your thoughts? So my first question to you, J. Rowe, is what is your thoughts on this interracial dating period?
I don't have a problem with it, actually. I mean, the part of the title that we had was how colorblind is love. To me, like, it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, if you in a relationship with somebody and they make you happy, no matter what color they are, I mean, you could be black, white, Spanish, Indian, Italian, Mexican, whatever it is. I mean, if that person makes you happy, it shouldn't matter what race they are, what color they are. When you in a relationship with that person, it doesn't matter what the outside world looking in thinks of your relationship. Like I say, as long as you two are happy in your relationship, that's all that really matters.
I could dig that. That's kind of my thinking on it too. You feel me?
Also, I have to say I have never been in an interracial relationship. I mean, back in the day, like I've had some friends who were cool, girls, black, white, Spanish, Chinese, Asian, whatever. But I've never actually been in a relationship with somebody in an intimate interracial relationship. But again, like I say, I have no preference. Like it doesn't matter to me.
It's definitely a weird. To me, it's definitely. Okay, we got a caller.
No. I was getting ready to say. I mean, you got some people that'll sit here and say, like, oh, you know, interracial relationships don't matter to them. They don't care. Who have never been in an interracial relationship, and you have some people that will say, I don't care for interracial. It's weird to say it, interracial relationship, and who will say that they don't like them, they don't care for them, and like I say, I mean, you got people like me who will say they could care less, but have never actually been in an interracial relationship.
Yeah, exactly. It's a weird feeling, you know. Definitely, like if sometimes when you out, now I mean, you notice. You know what I mean? If you're confident in a relationship, you're confident in a relationship. It don't matter. But you do notice in certain areas, you know, you may get a look. You feel me? This, that, and the third. But, you know, you just let it pass. I haven't encountered somebody approaching me or ever approached me back in the day about it. But here's a little twist I have on it, my thoughts on it, though. My thoughts is status. Status make a difference. You know, me, I ain't no rich dude. I ain't this, that, and the third. You ain't seeing me, oh, he balling out, this, that. But I think, you know, when a black woman, I've seen it, they may say they don't have an issue with it, but when they see a man of status, date outside his race, and especially a white woman, for a lot of them, it rubbed them the wrong way. You know, they look at him as a sellout. Or he got rich, he went to a white woman. He started dealing with a white woman. But, you know, he could have really, you know what I mean, but it had nothing to do with his status. He just could truly like her, and she could truly like him. But just because his status put him in around a certain group of people look at it shady, like, all right, well, he done forgot where he came from, this, that, and the third. So when I hear people say, you know, they don't really care, you know, I want them to expand on it, because if, you know, like, as far as we do, so if we see a black woman, she's often successful, and she start dating a white man, it's just like sometimes in the back of your mind was she dating a white man because she got money, and she feel like, the brothers ain't got no money. Because, you know, a lot of successful black women, they feel like the more successful they get, you feel me, the less and less choice of black men they have. You know what I mean? That's just the reality of the situation. You know what I mean? More success. You feel me? That's just what it is. And, you know, as black men, that's up to us, you know, to improve that. But, you know, do we look at her funny?
It's like a I want to say like a double standard when it comes to that. I mean, you hear a lot of people talk about it. You know, you got the comedians, you got people, the older generation. And when I say older generation, I'm talking about like grandparents, great grandparents, things like that. Some of them will have an issue with interracial relationships. That's how they were raised. They don't like that. Like I say, it's like a double standard. You see a black guy with a white lady, they're like, oh, that's fine. You know, that's typical, that's normal. But if you see a black lady with a white man, it's just like, oh, you couldn't find a black man to satisfy you or make you happy, things like that. So it's kind of like a double standard when that kind of thing comes out, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. I mean, like I say, it all goes back to if that person makes that other person happy and is not interfering with your life and your everyday dealings, then it shouldn't matter to you.
True. I definitely believe that it really shouldn't matter to the next person who the next person is involved in. You know what I mean? But sadly, it does. You know what I mean? Sadly, it does. You know, and I know a few people who actually like someone from outside of their race, but they wouldn't act on it because they didn't want to deal with the stuff they felt that was going to come along with it.
Mhm.
You know, the looks. What if they end up having a baby? Do they want an interracial child? This, that, and the third. And then, you know, it's different levels to it as well. It ain't just black and white. You know, when people when we talk about interracial dating, you know, the first thing we think about is, you know, black and white. But, you know, black and Spanish. You know, I guess for some reason, a lot of people think, all right, well, Spanish people, they basically black too or something like that. So they get a pass. You feel me? But, you know, they're two different cultures.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They're two completely different cultures. And I know some, you know what I mean, I've encountered it personally. I know some Spanish families, like, they old school, and they didn't really necessarily like me talking to their daughter. You feel me? They wanted their daughter to be of their ethnicity as well. So they you don't just get the looks and side eyes from, you know, if it's black and white, it's black and Spanish too.
Yeah, like I say, I mean, everywhere. Especially being in the Army, I see a lot of these older people in the Army who go out and go overseas and wind up getting them a wife from whatever country that they were in. You had a lot of these guys that go to the base, Fort Dix, McGuire, Lakehurst, and these people have Asian wives, they got Spanish wives, they got European wives, and most of them are either white guys or black guys, and they have wives who aren't even American, let alone a different interracial that's not even American. So it happens.
Definitely. You know what I mean? Once again, if you're listening out there, we want y'all to call in. We want to get y'all thoughts on the situation or on the topic tonight. Phone number 657-383-1155. That's 657-383-1155. Okay. Now, this, we talked about, is love truly colorblind? Now, do you think in the days time, it's 2016, about to be 2017 around the corner, should we still be having this conversation?
There's a lot of conversations that we still shouldn't be having, but that come up every day. This is something that's not old. Like I said, this has been going on for years. And when I say years, I'm not talking like 10, 15 years. I'm talking years. Like, we talking like back in the 60s, 70s, 80s. Like, and it's not something that should still be coming up that's an issue. Like I say, I mean, everybody has their own opinion. You got these guys out here that's like, no, I'm black, so I'm only out here to reproduce with other black people, and keep my race strong, and all of this other stuff. And then you have some people who really don't care. Like I said, I mean, it comes down to who makes that person happy, and that's who they want to be with. So to have this conversation coming up, it's not going to stop today. It's not going to stop tomorrow. It's not going to stop next year. This is going to be another show, another topic that we're going to have next year, the year after that. It's just a constant, ever-going cycle that's always going to come up. There's never going to be anybody who's satisfied or happy with their relationship or another person's relationship. So it's constantly going to be coming up.
Yeah, I definitely agree. You know what I mean? Like, my thing is, I think the conversation, is two conversations. You know what I mean? Like I stated on earlier, I think what class you in, you feel me, affects people's feelings about it, how they feel about it. Like, you see Michael Jordan or somebody famous. Say LeBron divorced his wife, you feel me, and find him a white woman or something like that. First thing they're gonna kill him. I mean, like, not figuratively, they're gonna kill him. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, he a sellout. He want this white girl, this and that. I remember during the basketball season, Kyrie Irving, they got mad at Kyrie Irving because he was somewhere, in a party, and there wasn't no black girls. It was just all white girls there.
Yeah, he had like a party on the boat, and it was like, or was it that, or it was something about light skin? And he had a whole bunch of light skinned girls, or
yeah.
Yeah, like, come on now, really? Is that what we're getting into? Y'all still doing that light skin versus dark skin thing?
Yeah, that's a real thing too. Like, within the black community, that's a real thing. You feel me? Like, the light skinned girls and the dark skinned girls. I remember I've been hearing about that, them going back and forth about that since I was in elementary. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it was crazy to how it happened like that, to where, you feel me, within the community, within our own community, we would still judge each other based on our color, not our shade, so to speak. You feel me? And then we still got to deal with it outside, with other races. I know some people, you feel me, they only date light-skinned girls or light-skinned boys or males because, you feel me, if they have a kid, they want their kid to be light-skinned and want their kid to be dark-skinned, this, that, and the third. I know this one white lady, she was like, she only date black men because she liked the way how mixed kids look.
For real, I know people like that. It don't even gotta be white and black. Like you say, Spanish people be like, oh, I want the Spanish people because they got the good hair. I want my baby to have good hair, so I want to find me a Spanish person, the wet and wavy hair. It's funny because I just got a text from Red. She was like, don't forget to mention Beyonce, the Becky with the good hair. That's what they're looking for. That's what they want. That Becky with the good hair.
Exactly. You know what I mean? That's funny right there. You know what I mean? Because, I think we're in a society now where, the looks are everything. Like, even when they do the movies, you feel me, that will depict, if you do the history, a movie that when they, the people should be all black. But when you see the movie, it's really white people and light-skinned people playing the characters. You feel me? And I guess that's just embedded. It's like they beat you in the brain with it, subliminally. So, people, that's what people aspire to be. That's what they think look good. You feel me? When that's not really the case. You know, beauty comes in all shades and colors.
One of the questions that came up was, why is it okay for a black man to date a Spanish woman, a Spanish-speaking female over a white female?
Yeah. I don't know. I think because I don't know if the sisters look at the, you feel me, history. If you do the history, I guess white people got a history with them that's really been out there. How they did it, but most people don't know Spain or Spanish people was part of that too.
Mm-hmm.
They enslaved us too. So, but we so caught up on white people that that don't really get acknowledged. But I guess in today's time, in this society, we look at Spanish people as one of us, as black. So we really don't get that. They don't get that shade, so to speak, I guess. What you think?
We got a caller right now. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can add this caller in real quick. Hold on. GFT Radio, you're on air. Who's this?
So we lose the caller?
Yeah, I think we lost him. Oh, what's up? Who's this? It's low, but I hear him there.
Hello? I don't know. They got their phone on mute or something?
I don't know. Is it hello? I don't know. Let's go on. But yeah, like you were saying, when it comes down to the to the Spanish people, it's a lot of people don't know that's what Spanish people are more closely related to black people than white people. So I don't know. Maybe that has something to do with as to why they're okay with that.
But like I said, they're different. They're a whole different culture too. So
hold on, we got another call. Let me see if I can connect this in.
Okay.
GFT Radio, you on live? Who's this?
Hey, it's me, Sonny. Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you.
Hey, guys.
What's going on,
you
Sonny?
guys can hear me? Nothing. I'm
we hear
relaxed
you loud
now,
and clear.
but I'm definitely. You can hear me? I'm definitely listening to what you guys are saying, and I agree with a lot of it, especially when you said, Clint, about how with the Spanish people, how we consider them just like us, like they're just like a minority just like us. So I think that's why it's more acceptable. I also wanted to point out about the usually you guys are talking about how people have problems with black people dating white people. Like even in Beyonce song, it was like she made a comment about it too.
Yeah. I mean, so I guess because, that goes to my point about the success. When it's looked different upon, like if Jay was just a regular dude, you feel me? And Beyonce was just a regular girl, and Jay slid with a white girl who was official, wouldn't nobody say nothing. You know what I mean? But since his popularity, his status, if he was to leave B and go get him a white woman, they'll kill him. He'll sell out. He ain't no real brother. Jay affected the culture so much. You know what I mean? If he was to leave Beyonce, or there's the breakup, he start dating a white woman, they'll never look at Jay the same again. Especially the her. That's a fact.
I got one more caller I want to bring in on this discussion. Hold on real quick. Caller, you on live? Who's this? Where you from?
Willie Styles. What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Hey.
What's up, Willie?
Willie, what's good, brother?
Not much. I have to get in on the conversation. I've been seeing you guys having some good topics lately. I finally had some time to get on the phone on Thursday night, so I wanted to holler at y'all. Definitely good conversation, and already good points that you guys have already made. Definitely the whole black and brown thing when it comes to black men, dating Spanish women, or even vice versa. I think it's more acceptable because we all look at each other as common minorities, right? We don't look at it as being the us versus them thing at that point because we feel like we're all in this together. I think that's the most important thing, and the point you guys are making about, guys with status, black men with status and power or money, they will get, pretty much thrown to the wolves when they date outside their race. Usually, when it's with a white woman. I mean, you don't commonly see rich black men or famous black men going after Hispanic or Haitian or anything like that, or Jamaican or anything like that. So you usually don't get any kind of backlash. But I don't know if you would. I doubt it. Because I think we'll still look at it as the same thing, like as one minority with another minority, so we good. So they wouldn't be mad. So definitely a good point. But I do think people, even when they don't have money, I do think they still get the looks. I know I've done it. I'll be looking like, what made that guy decide to go that way? You know what I mean? I mean, you ask. Some people ask the question. Some people give the person looks. I hear women all the time say like, hey, why he got to be with this, or why these guys go, why all these men got to be looking for a white woman, regardless of if they got money or not. It just kind of feels like they feel slighted, right? They feel like they're being turned on or put down for no reason, and I think it's all about, I wouldn't say self-image, but I think it's the image of the culture as a whole, you know what I mean, in terms of how they feel about it. They feel like the majority or the vast majority of the men that are doing that, they feel like that they're turning their backs on our culture or they're turning their backs on our race, that kind of thing. That's how they would look at it.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm so what do you think? What do you think if it's the other? Do you think it's a double standard with women and men?
Yeah, I definitely agree that there's a double standard because I think women do get a little less flack about dating outside the race than men do. I mean, I was looking at something or reading something one time, and they were talking about, the reasons women date outside their race, right? And black women, talking about black women, the reasons they date outside their race. And the main thing that they talked about was the financial aspect, the education, and the whole issue of black men being, I wouldn't say beneath them, but you know what I mean, like the whole status thing of, more black women are educated, more black women are out of prison, more black women have jobs, that kind of thing. So, they're trying to find somebody that's at their status, right? But when you talk about black men dating white women, it's always about the race part of it. It's like, oh, he's turned his back on black women, or he's turned his back on his race, or he has no self-consciousness about his race and what it means to be a black man, or he's given up the black experience to be with this white woman, and that's usually what people blame it on. They don't usually say, oh, he's trying to find somebody at his status, or he's trying to find somebody that is educated like him. They never, I won't say they never, but you don't usually hear that. You know what I mean? You don't usually hear people say that. So it's definitely a double standard when it comes to, how it comes down.
Yeah, I definitely agree. What do you think, Sonny?
I mean, I agree, but I think the women get it too, because we as women, if we go, like, especially like if you live in like the urban areas, you come in with a blonde haired, blue eyed dude walking past half these people that hang out on the streets, it's gonna be a problem, and somebody's gonna say something. So I mean, I agree to a certain extent with it. At the same time, I understand that it's not just with more so with men than women, but I think it's equal. Like if you go, if I decide I don't want to date black men no more, I just want to date white boys. Oh, I done, now I'm messing with black dudes, and it's the whole thing too. But hold on, guys, we have another caller. Hold on, really, we're gonna put you on hold for a minute, okay?
Okay, no problem.
All right, bring up. Hello?
Caller, what's your name? Where are you from?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, this is Jarrell, man. What's good, baby?
This is who?
What's going on, boy?
Jarrell. What's up, Clint? Sonny D don't even know my name. She seen me at the school and said Gerald or something, man. What's good, fam?
I always want to call you Gerald. I just want to call you that because I like it better. I don't know. I apologize 1,000 times.
Yeah.
This is Gerald from Podcast Brothers, guys.
Can you dig it?
Yeah, man.
Can you dig it?
Yeah,
I know that's right. Hey.
Yes, sir.
What's your thoughts, though?
Appreciate the call in, boss.
No problem, man. Listen, first of all, let me tell you, I meant to call in. Like, I listened to your joints, and I'm like, damn, why didn't I call into that, man? Y'all had the second joint for the last 2 weeks, but we gonna get on topic. What's my thoughts on what we talking about? Is love colorblind?
Yeah,
I believe it is, but we have a fear of it, and that fear is just a personal thing. Some people just don't want to bring that white woman around their aunt. You know what I'm saying? Thanksgiving, stuff like that, man. Families, it's basically families for me, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like meeting the family, and it's just those nerves to me. But I was listening to Clint.
See, that's the point we didn't touch on. Yeah, that's the point we didn't touch on. That's a good point you made. Yeah,
it's just those nerves because we all got that one family member that's always talking about, like, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of like pro-black. Like we all got an Uncle Pookie, and we all got like a pro-black family member in our family that, you know what I'm saying?
That was my grandmother.
Why'd you bring this white woman?
Stop bringing no blonde-haired, blue-eyed man in my house. My grandma said it to all her girls. She said it to all her grandkids, all her granddaughters, like, listen, when I come in here with no blonde-haired, blue-eyed person in my house. That's how she was for a long time. But I think at some point she kind of, understood that times changed. But that's how she was coming when we were young. That's how she came at us.
As far as like my opinion on that though, like I'm.
Go ahead.
Oh, like I'm not perfect. Before I I want to say that like no man is. But before I say what I want to say, I wanted to say that. But I think that the black woman, you know what I'm saying, she's definitely the queen. And if a white man can treat her with respect and love, I got no problem with that. None at all. So I'll never look at, if he's treating her right, I'm happy for them. You understand what I'm saying? So as far as what I think about it, like as long as women, because we out here, and like these women, like as long as they're trying to find a black man in the city, like we just talk about Trenton, it's not a lot of options for them. And that's why a lot of them are single, because they're waiting for Mr. Right. Like salute to those that's not settling. But eventually, like, it's not, nothing's going to happen. So eventually you're going to like, okay, let me date outside of my race. You know what I'm saying? So I have no problem with a woman who has been out there for so long, like, you know what, and then this man comes and loves her. I don't care what race he is.
Fact. Now let me ask you this now, because you talk about this. Why is there, because when we talk about interracial dating, we always talk about white-black, but we also mention Spanish women as well. Why do you think it's more lax when a black man or a black woman is dating a Spanish man and a Spanish woman than it is with a white? Why do you think it's more lax?
It's more lax, but I think it's still hate. But it's more lax because they're considered urban like us. It's less. Okay. It's less of a sellout, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Because they live right around the corner. You know what I'm saying? Like they live next door. Like we grow up in the struggle. Like Puerto Ricans say the N-word. You feel me? Like we're kind of like the same thing. It's just that when you see a man date, basically, if you're intimidated, if you're intimidated and you see this long hair, fair-skinned woman, like you're just going to hate. To me, I think that's what it is. Because at the end of the day, we live right next door to each other, and and they say the N-word, and we can crack jokes on them, they can crack jokes on us. Like, they are not white people. Like, white people can't do that. But we share, we share the same backyard. It's just, white Spanish women have this exotic look to them, and it's intimidating. That's just what that is.
Yeah, I think so. I agree. Clint.
I think it comes down to ego too, especially with men. You feel me? A black man who have an issue with a black woman dating a white man or dating outside her race. Period. I think a lot of it has to do with ego, because it's like, some men look at we not good enough, or I'm not good enough. He'll take his own personal, pride being hurt that a female that he like would date outside his race, and he'll just put her down as far as saying she don't like black men. Period. You feel me? When really it could just be him. It could just be that man in the mirror. You feel me? She has an issue with, not all black men. You feel me? And I think that's one thing we all got to stop doing too, is generalizing and thinking that we all think the same when it comes to certain topics. You feel me?
Right.
All black men don't think alike.
Yeah.
So what one may have an issue with, there may be plenty others that don't.
Right.
Look at I look at that too.
Look at Eve. You feel me? Like Stevie J making sex tapes, and this dude playing her. She goes and marries a billionaire, and he's white. You know what I'm saying, or whatever he is, and she's happy. You see what I'm saying? And I've seen a website where there was like, rich white people love black women because they're loyal. You know what I mean? Like that's why they go after them. Like, it's a lot of rich white people who look for black women.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And you see how it's reversed in the hood though. Like in the hood, and see that's how black men can't get mad, because in the hood, most black men don't look at black women as they're being loyal. I ain't gonna say most, but a lot. You feel me? That's why we had the contentions, our relations, like this, the strain between the black man and the black woman. Like, the relationship is strained right now. You feel me? It's like it's a lot of. I mean, we talked about this before on the show. It's like it's, the relationship between you know what I mean? So, it's weird to hear that people outside the race think black women are more loyal, when, you know what I mean, they got black men out here thinking the black woman trying to get over on them, trying to stick it to them, this, that, and the third.
Yeah, but see, I be looking at it as like the black man and the black woman, both two broken people, right? Because, like, for example, and I don't and this is on topic, but it might be a little off. When you're young and you're a young black little girl, more than likely you're impressed by the Flash. That's basically so that's what I've seen in school. I think that at a young age, white women were the first ones to tell me how beautiful I was just because I was black. You understand? And that stuck with me. And I think a lot of people feel that. Like, okay, I ain't got on the best gear, I ain't got the best clothes, I ain't got the most money, I ain't got a car, and so it's like you couldn't get that girl in the 12th grade that you wanted, because she was hopping in the car with the dude with the Lex. You see what I'm saying? So it affects your mentality. But when when white women look at you, they just say, "Oh my gosh, you're so hot." You know what I'm saying? It's just like it. So you look at it like that, and that's just my personal experience. Like, they were the first ones to not care what I had on, not care about, you know what I mean, saying how gangsta I was or wasn't. It was just like, yo, you are a beautiful man. And that plays a part in it too. The conversation, it's like, okay, I gotta have something in order for you to want me.
Hey, Jarrell, I need you to hold that thought. I'm gonna put you on hold. We got another caller I want to bring on real quick. I'm gonna put you on hold. We'll come right back to you. All right.
All right.
GFT Radio. Who's this?
How you doing? My name's Black Gladiator, and I was calling to talk about the subject of the colorblind of love. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir.
Well, first off, I just wanted to say that a lot of people have their own definition of love. You know, a lot of people come across their own definition of love. But truly, love is a connection. Love is the embodiment of a woman, you know. And I just want to say that I find it that a tree don't search for love, but we have people out here today that search for love. And to make it swift and short, what I'm trying to say is that to date a woman from a different race, to look for love is basically dealing with people out of different cultures. But to master your own culture is to be okay. So I think it's okay for you to date outside your race is what I'm saying. Also think that when we look at life, a lot of us look at life from a male perspective. You know, we look at life from a male approach and have a psychological function of a male. I think that's for a lot of women out there. They, you know, take the approach of they take the male approach and they function psychologically like a male, you know. And I think that's where the colorblind of love come in at, because love has no color. If you wanna be Pacific, love is just a woman, you know. So that's what I got to say about that.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Appreciate that,
Definitely
bro.
appreciate that.
Came in here and Dr. Little he just came in here and got it all calm and was like, yeah, this is how I feel. I know that's right.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I agree with it. Women, I feel like that's why I don't discriminate. You know, I feel like women embody everything. Women are beautiful creatures. You feel me? So
Right,
I feel like just to say that, you know, I can't like one because the color of her skin, you know, I think that's kind of sad. I think that's a sad predicament. I think that limits us all.
Yeah.
You feel me? And then, you know, I think everybody should be free to love who they want to love, no matter the color or race.
Right.
So appreciate your call, brother.
Oh, thanks for having me on the show. Is it okay if I ask the woman a question, though?
You asked me a question?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
Is that okay? When it comes to love and when it comes to identifying a woman and being present of knowing who she totally really is, I want to ask you, do you think, prior to popular belief, that the identification of a woman is basically her vagina? A lot of people identify a woman through her vagina, you know, through the vagina of a woman. They say that the seat of the consciousness is through the vagina of a woman. So I want to know, basically, do you think women should be identified through their vagina, or basically, do you think women should be identified through their heart or through their mind?
They should be identified through their heart and their mind. I mean, the vagina ain't nothing but a body part. So if you want to look at me as just that, then you're looking at me essentially as a tool, as just a means to an end, rather than looking at me as a person, period. I'm a person first. You know, women are people. Like, they're not just a body part. We're a whole person. We have thoughts. We have everything, feelings, and all. So we're a person. I would like for people to look at us as a person, but then again, you do have some that look at the female as just that body part, and that's it.
And my last question would be, do you think people equate love and marriage with being synonymous with one another? Do you think love and marriage is synonymous with one another?
Not necessarily. You can love somebody and not. I think that you can love somebody, but it doesn't mean you have to necessarily marry them because, that's just saying, like, we would like to get married, but I don't think that it's just, it has to be, if I love you, we have to get married. No, I don't think that.
Okay. Thank you for question.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
All right, boss.
Well,
thank you for the call, then.
Thank you.
So, can you guys hear me?
All right.
Hold on.
All right, he came in smooth as hell. Like, yeah, love it. All right now. Is Jarrell still online?
Yeah, Jarrell's still here.
I said his name right.
The black radiator. Right. The black radiator came on like a smooth operator, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He came in here. He got the coat.
Right.
Hey, we still got
he
Willie
came in on like, too. Yeah.
He dropped some knowledge, some gems. He definitely in the world. He definitely basically like a list of few people who that deep with it. You know what I'm saying? Like he can tell he's deep with his.
Yeah, but that deep like that. He on a whole nother level.
Right.
So Jarrell, I don't know if you touched on it. I don't know if you touched on it when you was talking, but do you think status plays a part in it? Like I was saying,
like I heard you earlier about like the athlete.
Yeah.
Like if the athlete, you know what? It's so hard to tell because we don't know what that man went through, and I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, yes, I've looked at a million pictures. Like let's look at T. Diggs. You know what I'm saying? Like I look at a lot of guys who are like, oh man, look at you. Like I always look at the white woman. Like there's certain levels of white women. Like they're like that's me. You can tell there's your suburban and your urban. To me, I can tell the difference. I know where you got your Becky from. I can tell that, and I can tell where you got that from. You know what I'm saying? And all I can do is just speculate. Are you doing this because you want to stay on the team? Are you tired of black women? Do you not like the ghetto? Just because you black don't mean you like ghetto. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't know. They look like sellouts to me. I'll be honest. Most of them. But all I can do is speculate.
I can dig it.
They're like that, yeah. Like that's all I can do is.
Well, I want to say this because I was talking to someone yesterday about the show the show what we were having tonight, and this is what I was. Here's my thought process. I had two mutual friends of mine that said they would never date black women. I'm not dating them. Blah blah blah. I want that I get like a lot of people that I know, like a lot of people, like guys I've known throughout the years and met. We was friends at one point. They get to the point where they don't want to date black people for whatever reason. And they say, I'm not dating black females because of X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, maybe you're attracting the wrong type of black female. You need to find someone else. Like you need to take a minute to yourself, figure out what's going on in your life that's attracting these type of females, and then change their pattern. You can't keep going to the club and meeting some black female and saying all black women are actually. Go somewhere else. Go out to like the museum or some like, do some other shit other than going to the club. Think you're gonna find upstanding female in the club, but then maybe you might. I don't know. But that too, or then you get the one that say, I don't want to date black women because I want to have a baby with good hair. Like all this, like that part, that pisses me off. I don't care. Love who you love. Be who you're gonna be with, black, white, Asian. I don't care. Like if you love that person and you're in love and you happy, be happy. I'm all for that. But don't downgrade one other race to make yourself feel like you have to basically say, well, black females are like this, that's why I won't date them. Like, no, don't do that. Don't date us because you don't like us for whatever reason. But don't sit there and say, I won't ever date them because all y'all like this. All of us are not like this. The ones you found are like this because you're attracting a certain type of female. If you want a certain type of female, you have to elude, or not even, step outside the comfort zone and do something different than what your normal is because your normal is inducing to attract your females. So that part I do not like, but that's just me. What do y'all think?
I think it goes back to what I said about generalization. I think we generalize too much. You feel me? From all men are dogs or all women are bitches, this, that, and the third. I think we generalize way too much, especially in the black community. You feel me? We lump each other you deal with one or two females, and they the same way, they act the same way. You feel me? And you like, damn, all of them like that. You feel me? I can't find a good one. Female, she'll pick out a couple dudes. You feel me? They dog her out. Now all niggas the same. They don't want to do nothing but, you know what I mean, to sleep with me and this, that, and the third. Well, like you just pointed out, sometimes you got to look in the mirror and look at yourself, you know, because, like you said, you could be attracting, you know what I mean, you only attract what you are at the end of the day. You know what I mean? They say opposites attract, but nah, you feel me? You going to attract what, you know what I mean, reflects you, what you see. You know what I mean? So if you keep attracting the same thing, it's something about you. You know what I mean? I always go, like I said, we're not all the same.
Right.
Nah, man. Yeah, like you said, eventually you got to look at yourself.
Right.
This is, I believe this is the most uneducated America. Nah, I was just saying, like, I think this is the most uneducated America has ever, like, the most uneducated America this has ever been. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so everything, a lot of things that we're going to say is just ignorant because they don't know what not to say. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what's his name? Kodak Black made a song about he don't want to date or something with black women because he's black enough, so give him white women. It's just ignorant. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's the mentality. I don't know where we got it from, but that's just the mentality. So when you say about I don't want a kid with nappy hair, I want mixed hair, it's just ignorant. And I don't really know any other way to explain that. Just that, you know.
Because you can find black girls. It's a lot of black girls. Like my niece, I love her. She's all black. If you see her, people be like, oh, you mixed? No, she's black, and her hair is good, and she's black. All black, black women do have good hair. So it's not like you have to have babies by or not date them because you think, like, what do you define as good hair? That's what I'm thinking, because you can't just, like I said, it's not just hair. It's like, you know, like I said, guys don't want to date certain females for whatever reason. Like y'all keep saying, like we said before, you have to think about what type of females you're attracting. You can't group everybody into one category. If you keep meeting ratchet, all you're going to be, you're attracting ratchet. What are you doing? That's the same with females. I'm not dating all black guys, black men and dogs, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to date a white boy. A white boy could dog you out, too. So, like, what are you talking about? You have to figure out what you're doing to attract that type of person.
Yeah, it's always, people always want to change.
I think the media is TV.
Oh, yeah, TV, yeah.
Yeah,
TV definitely did it.
I think that has a major part in how we view each other. You know, we keep being hit with all these, you know, with the videos. What a bad bitch is. What a pretty woman is. It's like they're trying to mold us into what we think beauty should be. You feel me? So,
but just take care.
And then it's part
everything.
Yeah. Yeah, and then when it comes to the attitudes, you know, like black women are labeled as loud, this, that, and the third. White women are labeled as docile, and this, that, and the third. So it's like we being bombarded with all these images, these false images of what, you know, we should be, and it's generalizing everybody, and people go off that. You feel me? People go off that, and that's how they end up judging how they deal with people, who they deal with. They could just look at you. You feel me? Like you take rap, you know what I mean? You could take from any instance with the Trayvon Martin. They look at you, you feel me? They see you wearing a hoodie, this, that, and the third. So they think you is a hood. They think you is in these streets doing that, this, that, and the third. Not looking at it, well, this probably just like how I like to dress. You know what I mean? This is just me. You feel me? I ain't out here doing nothing crazy, but I'm generalized. You feel me? I'm already labeled. You know, and I think we do that when we picking the opposite sex. We'll see a certain female, see the way she dresses, something like that, and we think already in our mind, oh, yeah, she a hood rat, she a hoochie. And it totally could not be the case.
But I'll say this, right? When it comes to communities, I think the only way to build it up is to, you know, raise the family inside of that community. More than likely, that's going to be the black woman and the black man. You see what I'm saying? It's like without the families, the communities crumble, and that's why we are where we are. Like no disrespect to my Spanish people, but they own these stores because they do it they're family orientated. You know what I'm saying? Like Poppy going home to mommy. You know what I'm saying? She holding down the family while he working that store for 15 hours a day, or she in the store. You feel me? Like she in the store with him.
Yeah.
So when we do branch out, we're not really helping the community, and that's just the one bad thing that I would say about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll just bring up the Eve thing again because she couldn't find a good man. Because she couldn't find a good black man, she missed out making something out of a man in Philly because she's rich, she's straight, but she couldn't find that, and I'm cool with that. So she's out. I forgot where she at, but she ain't in America. She's out there.
She in London.
Yeah, she in London right now, raising, you know what I'm saying, with a white family, and I'm cool with that. But it's strength in numbers, and had she would have found a man would have been good enough for her, that would have just been more strength right there, in just my opinion.
I don't think she's missing out. I think she just, like sometimes when you're not looking for love finds you, and it don't matter what color. And I think that's where, like, you get somebody down to the bone of being hurt, and they look up and they find somebody that's treating them right. You're going to gravitate towards that. Because of all you've been is hurt, whoever shows you love, and if it's that type of love that you need, and it's real, she found it. And it just happened to be a non-black person, and, you know, it is what it is. I don't think that I don't want to say that I don't feel like she just said, you know what, F black men. It just happened when she wasn't even expecting it, and it was perfect, and right now she's happy, so if she's happy,
yeah, I
let her
definitely
be
agree.
happy.
Yeah. No. I'm not hating on her. I'm just saying, you know, if it went the other way, it would have been more of a upbringing for the community, I believe. It's more like, you know what I'm saying? Let's just say she found her a guy from Philly. That's more of a power move for what we need, for what Philly needs, than her going to London. But I'm happy with that because he's taking care of her like no other man would that she tried to date. So I'm 1,000% happy for her. But it's just more of a power play for your community if you date inside your race. Like I think that's kind of like why, like, and even though you brought up the Spanish people, like, even though men like to date Spanish women and men, and you know, but the Spanish family really don't like black people coming in because technically you breaking up the business, the family. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And as much urban as we are together, they still look at us as the bottom of the scum. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, out of every race, people always going to look at us as the worst. That's the way it is. So even though we party with them, we live right next to them, when you get around the old head, the old poppy, he looking at us sideways because he don't want us messing up, you know, things with his daughter, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, keep it in the family. That's how Spanish people do it.
Yeah, I remember I dated a Spanish guy. It wasn't even his family. It was his family, but it wasn't his mom and dad. It was his uncle, like, her to stop coming around here. Like, we was in love, you know, back then, you know, high school puppy love, and it was like, no. But, you know, it was what it was. We broke up for other reasons, but it was just like, you know, I felt it because it was like, she always around here, you know, blah, blah, blah. Oh, well, he not here. I knew he was there because he told me to come around there. So, but, you know, this nonsense. But I think, you know, like you said, most nationalities don't like you stepping outside. Even how Guyanese people or, you know, Africans or Jamaicans, they don't like, sometimes they have an issue with you stepping outside of that nationality. So it's not just, you know, with everybody else. It's just like, I don't want you to date, I want you to date one of the other nationalities. You can't do that. I want you to just stay within this community and don't go outside. But that's just how it happens. It's not, you know.
It's crazy. It's crazy that you break it down like that. Like, so when we date outside our race, it's because we really don't have one of our own. You feel me? Like, a lot of races stay intact because of, like I say, tradition and business-wise. There's a lot of things involved of it. We don't have that. We just out here, like, freelancing. Like, oh, I'm supposed to date black women. Okay. Like, that's all we got. All we got is, well, I'm supposed to date black women because one person is going to be mad, but there's no other reason why. Like, we're the only ones out here freelancing, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Because we don't
have nothing to fall back on.
Yep. Our set model is somebody else's. You feel
Right.
me?
Right.
Like we're piggybacking. Everything we do in America, we actually, like all the great stuff we do, we still piggybacking off of white America. I know that sounds crazy, but it is. It's because that's why people wanted to assimilate. That's why everything, a lot of people was against integration. A lot of black people were against integration. You feel me? They wanted equal rights. But, like Malcolm and them, they wanted for integration because they know once we integrate, we already don't have a culture. We already don't have nothing. They stripped that from us. So now we integrate and we're becoming like them and we don't have nothing. You see? And we're nothing to them. So we're nothing to them, but we're trying to emulate them. You know what I mean? Like that's a crazy thought process. You feel me? They snatched everything from us. So I can hear I respect the fact when he say power couple in the community because that's what we need to see more of. You feel me? Like all these black couples that are lasting. We need to see that. You know what I mean? The marriages, all of that. You feel me? The young black kids need to see that. You feel me? And see that.
But most times if they have some good couples, they move elsewhere, especially in Trenton. Like nobody, let's be realistic about it, especially in Trenton alone. People don't want to stay in Trenton. Why? Because there's so much crap going on. So what happens when you find stability, you find your other mate, y'all making good enough money, the first thing you're doing is trying to get the hell out of Trenton. You
know what I mean? Well, it's almost that time. You feel me? It's about 10:57. We like to thank all the callers for calling in. It was a real nice debate. Nice talk. We doing the after show, people?
Yeah, I'm down with it.
I'm down.
All right. So we're gonna slide in the after show and we're gonna freelance it. You know what I mean? Switch the topics up if you all want to. You know what I mean? Talk about. I want to talk about Colin Kaepernick.
I want to talk about George Zimmerman being homeless. That shit had me dying.
No, am I still on?
He's homeless and he in debt.
Yeah, you still there?
You ain't see all the memes on Twitter you see George Zimmerman on the street. They got all these memes laughing.
I want to talk about how George Zimmerman homeless and ain't nobody in Florida touched him. Like why is it when it comes down to like look at this, right? I listened to a lot of radio interviews, right? Uncle Luke had a problem with these rappers coming to Miami and not paying dues. So you got all these beefs going on between the urban communities. But why is it okay for George Zimmerman to walk around or free? He's basically laying on the streets waiting for somebody. Like he's on the streets. But we're so quick to fight each other.
Right?
But this guy disrespects us, sells the gun, brags about it, and he's still alive. Bro, if I look at you all in the club,
he was making money off that
talk, bro.
Yeah, it is.
He was doing the most.
This generation all talk.
Yeah.
You feel me? I was having a conversation with one of my boys, and I was explaining the difference between black people and white people in America. And the reason why, at sometimes you gotta respect white people, because white people will go for it, son. They're gonna take that's why a lot of them look at us crazy, because it's like, what y'all complaining for? We came and took it.
I can't really respect them, because let me tell you,
you want it. It's just like, if you want it, take it. Stop asking for handouts. Stop. You feel me? Take it.
It's different.
And
it's different.
That's my issue with my issue with black folk. It's we doing a lot of talking. You feel me? We ain't taking nothing. We doing a lot of we want, you feel me, equal rights. But in the hood, it's either get down or lay down. It's we ain't taking no shorts from each other, but we taking shorts from everybody else. You feel me? So when I see George Zimmerman, he's still walking around, I mean, that's no surprise to me. That's no surprise, because if that was Pookie who done shot Tay-Tay, and they see Pookie, they gonna lay Pookie down. You
right?
feel
He
me?
looking for Pookie.
But since that's George Zimmerman, he on TV, you know what I mean? Like, nah, we can't touch him. That's gonna be like, come on, man. You feel me? Like, come on, man. Like, I have real issues with that.
You know why I say I kind of disagree a little bit? That rapist, Brock Turner, right? He home, right?
Yeah.
And they got protesters outside his home, white protesters with guns. My thing is this. They're allowed to take their stand. Black people aren't. So, I mean, like, if we wanted to take our stand, like, if we wanted to go take it, they shoot us in the streets. That's just how I feel about it. They are allowed to do these things. They don't gotta deal with the Okay.
That's my point. My point is, you feel me? They are willing to go out there in the streets and like you gotta take it from them, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the one thing. Why do you think they was here? I mean, why did everybody, when you talk about America, why everybody think them people came here and started America? Because they was like, F that over there. You feel me? We don't want to do that. We're going to come over here and we're going to do our own thing. And if y'all come over here and y'all trying to tax us, y'all trying to do this, that, and the third, nah, y'all got to kill us. You feel me?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all trying to take our slaves, y'all trying to take our land, this, that, and the third. Nah, we going to civil war. We kill each other. That's their mentality. Am I saying it's right? You know, my boys coming like more like black people, that's not in our nature, this, that, and I mean, like, that's their nature. They more violent than us. Or they willing to go out and get it. You feel me? They're willing to sacrifice everything down to the last minute. Black people not like that, bro. Black people not like that.
It's something that was being talked.
They're not trying to live. They're trying to survive. It's a difference.
It was something that I was listening to, and it was like how the gang started in New York because the black people needed protection from the Spanish people. If I'm wrong, somebody quote me. So they formed the Bloods in New York. You know what I'm saying? I don't know all my facts, but, you know, I hear something like that. But what they said was when they were in jail, they needed protection from the blacks. But when you become, like, oppressed, I don't know if that's the word. My vocabulary ain't the best. You basically become the oppressor of who you look like. Like, they went in there and joined forces because they needed protection from other races. But when they all came home, they just started oppressing each other. So it's kind of like, that's just, so that's basically like when you think about Chicago, you know what I'm saying? It's like, only thing they know, like, because I still don't get, like, especially with the 70s or the 60s, when they was going through all them wars in California and the cops was beating them. But only thing they did was turn into Bloods and Crips and started beating themselves. So it's like, yeah, they gave up. To me, it's like, you know what? We're not going to fight the people. We're not going to make this gang to fight the people that's attacking us. We're going to just fight each other. And that's just been our mentality since they gave up, since they stopped fighting. We tried to fight. But once they gave up, we just going to kill ourselves. And that's just how it's been for the last 30, 40 years. Probably more than that, 50, whatever the 60, 70. Yeah. Like, that's just where we're at. And it's getting worse.
Exactly. You feel me? Exactly. It's like my thing is, all right, we're going to sit here. If we keep going this way, we just going to kill ourselves. So if you want to fight, you feel me, fight for something. You feel me, fight for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, let's stop beefing with each other. Are we all going to agree? You know what I mean? It's never going to be kumbaya. You feel me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one of my things. It's like, it is never going to be that. Even during the civil rights movement, you know what I mean? Everything had to be attacked from different angles. You feel me? You needed the Black Panthers. You needed the Muslims. You needed the Christians. You needed to come from all angles because, you know what I mean, you can't beat it one way. You feel me? That's why the Black Panthers, they showed strength with their guns. Like, yeah, we're willing to fight. You know what I mean? The Muslims like, well, we ain't integrating nothing. You know, we start our own thing. You know, the Christians was more docile. That's why they promote Dr. King like that. You feel me? They want to promote that peace. You know what I mean? Y'all don't want to go to war. Y'all get further by just, you know what I mean, singing songs and marching. We'll just give y'all that. That singing song and marching stuff, man, that ain't get us nowhere. You feel me? We're in the same position we was 50 years ago. To be quite honest with you. You feel me? We're in the same position. You know,
it's
but the way I still look at it is we're in the same position, but the opportunities are different. You feel me? We're in the time till now, you know, there's so much information out there, you can't hide nothing from us. You feel me? And if you want to know something, you can go find it out. So a lot of the excuses that our previous generations had, our generation now don't. So that's why, like, when people be talking that, you know, oh, they broke us down, this, that, you know, mentally enslaved us. Okay, we know that already. We know that already. We knew that 50 years ago. What we going to do about it?
Exactly.
You feel me? Are we going to just not let it continue? If we're just going to let it continue, there's no need to talk. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. You feel me? Like they go out to they kamikaze for theirs. We don't kamikaze for ours. We don't.
I think
talk a good one.
I definitely think a lot of this stuff going on is a setup, man. I really think. Like, there's no reason why nothing's being done to help or assist Chicago. They tell us, you know, it's been like 3,000 murders in the last something years, and then they go to the next story. Like, there is no politician. Like, there is nobody, no black leader. Like, Spike Lee will make a movie about it in hopes to save Chicago that way. Don't know what he was thinking, but that's all they got. Now it's just like another person. Like 30 people were shot, 15 were killed over the weekend in Chicago. On to other news. I don't understand how this country can be okay with that. You see what I'm saying? It's like aren't something supposed to happen? I don't know what.
Well, I got a comment on that part.
Like
let Willie jump in. Let Willie jump in. What you gonna say, Willie?
Yeah, in terms of how people are so quick to move on, I used to think the same way. Like you know, either it's a setup or it's you know, or like when people start talking about all the distractions and all the other stuff that comes up, because you know, 1 minute we're talking about Ebola, 2 minutes later we're talking about, you know, babies and strollers, and then next thing you know, if some other crisis happens, and then 5 minutes later we're talking about something else, right? So I think the problem there is the attention span. Like I forgot who was saying it earlier, is that how we're the most ignorant as we've ever been, and it's
I said that.
And it's, yeah. So part of that is because you're 100% right. Because part of that is, and then to think that you said that and you're right, but I don't know if that was Clint that was saying how it's the problem. The other problem we have is that we have no excuses, right? Because we got all this information, we got all this knowledge, all this research already done for us. We have no reason why we can't grab the knowledge, why we can't go out and get it. But we're still the most ignorant that we've ever been in terms of how we approach things, how we speak to things, and how we work together. So the what's in between that is the attention, right? What do we give our attention to? And bottom line is we still don't give our attention to what's important. We don't give our attention to other people's lives. So we don't care that 30 people got shot and 15 people died. We don't. Nobody really cares. Think about it. Did you cry for them? Did you go mourn for them? No, you didn't. You moved on with your life. So the news, they feed into that. They make us feed into that, right? They say, hey, we're going to give you the information because it's sensational. You felt bad for about 2 seconds, like, dang, that's messed up. But you moved on, right? So nobody mounted an effort. Nobody said, let's go into this community, find out who did all this shooting, bring them to justice. Nobody said, hey, let's you know, as an outreach, let's go into the community and see, you know, what these people need in order to change this atmosphere that they're in, right? Going back to another statement somebody made earlier about you know, knowing that, you know, we've been broken down over the years, and we've known this for 50 years. The thing is that 50 years ago, people decided to get up and do something, right? And we're kind of getting into that again because, you know, people will say, okay, we're going to, you know, we'll get so many people together, we'll try to, you know, have a rally or a stand-in or whatever. But it's still something that needs to be done because people still have to show the outrage. If we don't show the outrage, then people will never care. No, people will never understand what we're going through because they're going to continue to move on with their lives. That's why white folks are so good at that, because they will sit back and say, I don't understand why you're why you're mad. I don't understand what you're complaining about, because they live with their blinders on and it's not affecting them. You know, I know a guy who lives not even a mile away from me. He doesn't see the issues because the thing is that it doesn't affect him. He doesn't have to care what black people are going through, but he doesn't understand that. He doesn't understand it's not because he doesn't see it, it's because he doesn't care, bottom line. So I think people don't realize that a lot of the stuff that happens, it's overlooked 5 minutes later because basically people don't care about each other. You know, if you force people to care, then that's different. Then they'll start to interact, or they'll start to react, or they'll start to do something about it. Like I just did a drive with my job where we raised I think it was $14,000 or $15,000 for the Flint water initiative that's going on to try to help people out there. And I mean, we did that in like a month, right? So, and I've seen people do even more in shorter time than that. But it's because we put it in front of them. What we did is we put on a table and we invited people to a luncheon that we had, and we said, hey, there's water on the table, go get some water. These white folks went in that room, and they came out like, hey, there's no water in here. We're like, no, there's bottles of water in there. Go grab a bottle of water. When they looked in there, the bottles of water all were dirty. We put little tea in it just to, we didn't want nobody to really drink some dirty water. But we put, we made all the water look like muddy water or dirty water, just like the people in Flint were getting. And we said, look, you don't care what's happening in Flint or you don't understand what's happening in Flint because it's not affecting you. But what if this is all you had to drink? What if this is all you had to bathe in? And it made it real for them at that moment. You know what I mean? Because they were expecting to get clean water. It's like, okay, no, this is your option. This is your only option. This is what's life. And then people start to care because you forced them to. So I think we still, if it takes singing songs and standing in something, you need to do that because that's what's going to make people realize that there is a problem, that people are real, that and you hear that all the time too with the conspiracy theorists that say, I forgot the name of the school, the little elementary school shooting. Oh, that didn't really happen because I don't hear anybody crying about it, or 9/11 didn't happen because I didn't know nobody that was affected by it. I'm sure most of y'all are close enough to the age to remember 9/11. I'm sure y'all know it was real because y'all were probably there, you know what I mean? Or y'all probably got family members that were affected by it. But there's people here in Michigan who don't believe it happened. They will bottom line tell you, no, that 9/11 never happened. It was all staged. And I know some of y'all are probably 100%, 200% offended by that, right? Because you probably got a cousin or an aunt or an uncle or somebody's, whatever, that was either killed, affected, or whatever the case may be, right? But it's because people only see what's right in front of them. They only see the 5 faces in front of them. They don't see the outside world as being real. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of that is because people don't genuinely care.
One other issue I had is everybody want to show up to the main show. It's like with the elections, Obama, you know what I mean? Obama won both Obama elections. You feel me? It's amazing turnout. You feel me? Everybody gung ho. Get out and vote. This, that, and the third.
Vote or die.
Vote or die. But when it's time to select your mayor, y'all don't know how pissed I was when the election came around for Trenton for the mayor. You feel me? There's over 80,000 people in this city, and less than 9,000 voted. Everybody complaining. Everybody got a problem with something was going on. This, that, and the third. Ain't nobody go out and vote. When it's time to pick your councilman, even less than that. Even less than 9,000 voted. So it's like we get all hyped for stuff on the big stage, but on that little stage where it really matters, the day-to-day stuff that affects you directly, you feel me? There's no, I don't know, like there's no fever for it. You feel me? They don't care. You feel me? They only want to show up when the bright lights is on. Don't nobody really want to put in that work, that day to day. I mean, you got some dudes out here, of course. You feel me? But as far as the public go, the public only want to show up when the bright lights on. You feel me? And I think that's one thing that needs to change. We need to be focused on what's in front of us instead of just always looking out, because what's in front of us is really the big picture. You feel me? You go on some of these streets in these cities, you see how dirty it is. That's just one thing. You feel me? There's no pride. Don't nobody got no pride or nothing. Ain't nobody sweeping up in front of their house. You feel me? I go in the park. I got my little brothers working out of the park. It's filthy. I'm walking around the park picking up cans, bottles and stuff. Like this is crazy. It's like it's no self-worth. So if we don't see it within ourselves, how we looking at other people and want them to see it? You feel me? That's what it comes down to me. It's like it's at a point where it's like destroyed and rebuild. Like we gotta focus on us and what's going on within our community before, you know what I mean, we could really, you know what I mean, don't nobody want to hear us. You feel me? You can't tell somebody, man, wash your dishes when you go in their crib, they catch your filth roaches everywhere. Like, who are you talking to? You know what I mean? I'm not listening to you. Get out of here. You know what I mean? And that's I feel like that's the predicament we're in at this point.
Yeah, that's I agree, because if you actually listen to what people talk about when it comes to the president, the ones that don't vote say because no change will happen. So what they're saying is they think the president is the end all be all. But they don't know that if you don't go to these smaller stages and these smaller elections, those people will have an effect on you more immediately, basically. Like the president can do 8 years and you'll never see what he actually did. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of people who probably don't know what Barack Obama did in his office, but he signed a lot of bills, did a lot of right things, made a few mistakes, but I bet you none of them know what he did. They just know he's a cool dude in office. You see what I'm saying? It's like you can't get too many people in Trenton to actually know exactly what Barack Obama has done, and he's been in there for 8 years. So if you're not getting like the governor, everybody complains about Christie. Well, how did he get in? Everybody wants to complain about, the mayor, Tony Mack, and then, they bring, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, well, how did he get in if that's not who you want? You know what I'm saying? But they don't understand the importance, because when you hear them talk, it's the president he's not going to change nothing. He's not going to change my living condition. I'm still not going to find a job. Bro, you're right. The president ain't going to fix that for you.
About it, though, because I work for the state of New Jersey, and going to work every day and talking about voting and stuff like that, or just, you're not going to talk about that stuff, but what we do anyway, especially social issues and all like that, where people are so clueless. And then on top of, like, as far as voting, that pisses me off. Do you know how many people I work with in my area, in my HR, that do not vote and don't care? But I'm like, and I always say, but you bitching and complaining about the governor don't let you do it, the governor did this, he stopped doing this. You didn't even vote, so I don't want to hear it. Like, what are you talking about? Like, at that point, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, did you vote? No, I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear no type of complaint. You ain't even go out and vote. Like, it takes less than 2 minutes to vote. Why are you not doing that? I don't understand that.
Not to vote.
Yeah.
Besides the mayor,
Diddy went from vote or die to just sit this one out.
Yeah, Diddy confused right now.
What he say it is?
Like Jay wrote. What you said?
What is it?
How you go from vote or die? I'm gonna sit this one out. Like, come on,
that's
man.
what he said? That's what Diddy said?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Because they like,
he was on TV.
I understand that nobody wants Trump. Nobody likes him.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something. If you black and rich, more than likely you want Trump in. That's basically what they're saying. Like, I've heard a lot of black people say, I want Trump in. And you know what I'm saying more than likely it's the rapper guys. They want Trump in because, like it's about the money. If you're a millionaire, you want him in, and they can't say that, so they'll say, you know what I mean, like they without telling you, they told you to vote for Barack Obama without saying it because they can't really say it, but they know where they were swaying you to. They're not going to do that this time. I've seen others do it too. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can tell. It's like these guys actually want Trump in. Trump's my guy. Oh, I didn't mean it that way. Taking pictures with Trump, like it's all over social media.
Yeah, or I've heard some people say, well, at least
he talking that money.
He don't like us, so why not vote for him? He being up front.
Right. This is what they saying. Oh, Trump gonna let us have our guns. Oh, Trump, at least he's honest. Like, come on, bro. This man would disrespect every nationality in America, but y'all want him to be the leader of America after you disrespected everybody in America.
Yeah. Did y'all real quickly before the show, and I want to, y'all know that Rob Lowe had a roast. They roasted Rob Lowe, and I don't know who the lady was.
Yeah.
I can't even think of her name right now. But she went there and they roasted her. It wasn't even her roast, but they roasted her because she did a book about Trump and she always promoting Trump. And they basically was like she like white sheep. Like they was going in on her, and she was just like she was sitting there. She couldn't even say shit. But you know she is who she is. But I can't even think of her name right now. But I was dying like that roast was like they coming at her that whole time.
Yeah, she racist. Yeah, she be coming across.
Yeah, what's her
racist.
name? I can't think of her name.
I can't think of her name, but she used to be on Fox all the time. You feel me? She wrote a lot of books. She hate Obama. You feel me? She.
Oh, Ann Coulter.
Yeah, Ann Coulter.
Yeah,
Ann
that's
Coulter.
crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of white people don't even like her.
Yeah, because she, you know what I mean? Then she real pro, she a feminist. She hate dudes. You feel me? Hate men. You feel me? Like, she all across the board. She all across the board. Coach is wild.
Yo, can I ask you a question?
You know, yes, sir.
Real quick, right? Black people and women. I'm talking about white women, black women, all women and black people. Normally when they give a black person something, they give it to women after. And we can talk about the vote and probably the presidency, right? But how do you but do you think that like, for example, this guy just started working at my job. First day on the job, he says, "Hey man, where's my Trump supporters at? You know, I'm voting for Trump. Who's a Trump supporter?" And he went on to say that women shouldn't be president. Only thing they're good for is making babies, and you know, blah blah blah. So my thing is this: when a man talks down to women like that, do you believe that he's not too far from being racist? You see what I'm saying? Like, they go hand in hand. So if you're a Trump supporter and you put down women, do you think that at the same time you're a racist as well? Like, it's kind of like we're tied together somehow, women and black people.
I think it's just that, I mean, women for a long time were just looked at as less than a man. So it kind of familiar with each other, but I don't want to say that they go hand in hand.
Okay, because he didn't say nothing bad about black people, but it's just like, I know you say the N-word plenty of times. It's like that's just the energy I got from him. That's just the energy I get from Trump supporters. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, okay, if you ignorant towards that, I'm pretty sure you ignorant towards this as well. They just go hand in hand to me when it comes to Trump supporters. Like, if you don't like black people, I know you don't believe women should be in office. If you don't think women should be in office, I'm pretty sure you don't like Obama either. That's just me.
Yeah, I think I feel what you're saying, but I think it can go both ways. Like what Sonny's saying too, is it's you know, because you can have black men that feel that way. Black men that would be like, oh, you know, I don't think a woman should be in office or whatever, and you know that doesn't make that black man racist, right? He might still don't mind white people or black people or whatever, but you know, being misogynistic or being or feeling that women are second-class citizens is still it's a thing that's shared across all races and all people. who are, and some women who feel that way. And some women, I've met women who are like, oh my God, no woman needs to be in office. We don't blah 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 this, blah 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 that. I mean, they spew this kind of hatred towards themselves, of course, towards their own gender, and it's sad. It's sad to hear it, but they do it. So it's a lot of people who feel that way.
I'm gonna say this before we end the show, and I want everybody to run down how they can be reached in their shows too. All I'm gonna say is it's a man's world. You feel me? Like everything is from the perspective of a man. So from the Bible to however you want to do it, when history is told from a man's point of view. So I separated race and that too completely. You feel me? Because just like Willie said, you feel me? You can have just as many black dudes, you be just as chauvinist. You feel me? And don't think a woman could do much for nothing. You feel me? Or lead nothing. So it's like I don't combine the two. I think it's two totally different things. You know what I mean? They can go hand in hand. One can be both, but I still think they separate. That's how I look at it. You feel me?
All right.
You feel me? There's definitely a man's world, though.
I guess that was Clint's final thought as we about to wrap this show up. Before we do that, we do have. I wanted to get everybody's information. Like Clint said, we want everybody to be able to get in touch with everybody. So, we still got 2 callers on the line. So, if you guys, Willie, I know you got your thing that you do. If you want to put that out so people can get in touch with you.
Yep. This is Willie Styles. Y'all can catch me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google, everywhere at Willie Styles. And my website is askwilliestyles.com. That's Styles with a Z.
All right. Definitely appreciate you calling in today.
Jarrell, you want to get your info out? How they can listen to you, your show?
Yes, sir. Co-host to the Podcast Brothers. Search for us on iTunes, SoundCloud. We drop our episodes every Sunday. You want to contact me personally, you can hit the Gmail up at mybroandmepodcast@gmail.com. And that's about it, man. The Podcast Brothers. That's it. Appreciate for having me, man. I've been meaning to call up here like so many times, man. I finally got my chance.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate you for calling,
no problem, man. Hey, support. Hey, we gotta support each other, man. That's all we got, man.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For real. Y'all know where y'all can hit me at. Y'all can hit me up on my blog site, kingstruth.com, Twitter at eTrentonGloomy. You feel me? I'm on Snapchat at King's Truth. You feel me? Instagram, Clint Black. That's BLAQ. You feel me? J-Ro.
And y'all can reach me.
You already know.
Oh. All right. I didn't hear you say that. I'm sorry. Oh, and y'all can reach me, Sunny. I am Sunny _D on Instagram, Twitter. Find me on my blog, unreservedlyme.wordpress.com.
All right, and as always, you already know JRO609 everywhere. I'm social, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Check out the show, blogtalkradio.com/GFT Radio Show. Check us out on Facebook, our Facebook page, GFT Radio, and on Twitter. Questions or anything throughout the week, if you want to email us, Sunny, get that email.
GFTRadioshow@gmail.com, or if it's on the Facebook page, GFT Radio.
All right. Anybody else got any final thoughts?
It was a great show.
Yes, yes.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
All right.
Record better audio anywhere with Motive digital microphones from Shure. Easy-to-use options like the MV88 plug directly into your phone or computer and include a free app. Create studio-quality sound for podcasts, music, and videos. Visit Shure.com to learn more.
a Wendy's Frosty is something special. And for a limited time, a Frosty is just 50 cents. An American classic for a classic price. It's not quite a milkshake, not quite an ice cream cone. It's definitely chocolate or vanilla. That choice is on you. Use a spoon or a French fry. Anything goes. A Frosty makes summer special. Yep, there's nothing quite like a Frosty. And there's nothing quite like this deal. A Frosty for 50 cents. Get yours before this deal melts away. Small Frosty at participating Wendy's for a limited time.